مساء الخير جميعا. ننتظر بس دقيقة أو شوي على ما التيمز to join. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Before we get started, I want to say congratulations to the top 10 teams for making it to the final round of judging. I know it has been a long 24 hours and you probably didn't get much sleep. Your hard work has paid off and got you to this final stage. We have assembled an elite panel of judges to select the best in the show. It is my privilege and pleasure to introduce the final judging panel, which includes Mrs. Hanadi Saleh, Chairperson of Agility, Dr. Ammar Al-Husseini, Deputy Director General of the Central Agency for Information Technology, Engineer Ahmed Al-Gharib, Director of Information Systems at the Ministry of Health, Engineer Ziad Al-Sabih, Director of Information Technology and Knowledge Management at the Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Science, and myself. So it has been a great event, and I hope you had excellent time and developed some amazing code. So let's go ahead and get started and see what you got.
Okay, so we're going to call the first team binary. If you guys can use the raise hand function so I can promote you to speakers. You'll see, by the way, that it will connect and reconnect. Don't freak out. That's okay. Okay, Abdurrahman is in from his team. I don't see anybody else who raised their hand, so we'll assume Abdurrahman will speak on their behalf. You're good to go, Doctor.
Thank you, Hashim. Abdurrahman, please go ahead and get started.
السلام عليكم. مساكم الله بالخير جميعا. حاليا I will go through the Tamween project quickly. I will use the sketch file because I'm the designer and I don't have the project in my laptop. Can I share the screen now?
Yes, you can share your screen.
اتفضل.
سوري ثواني بس طالب مني الاكسس. اوكي واضحه الشاشه عندكم؟ كان see this. تمام. This screen will be the first screen you land to the page. For example, if you go to the موقع وزارة التجارة ممكن يكون في بروموشن على هالصفحة اللي هو التموين أونلاين. هالسكشن راح يكون اللي هو اليو اس بيز او why to use this the new service. It could be for the family or for the sons, for the fathers or the sons. It could be the 3 USBs that you will shop through your mobile. You can access as a father or a son, or you can pick up the order or choose the delivery. Then you will go down, you can see the products, but you cannot add anything to your cart until you sign in. Once you sign in or sign up, you will have this image, the same as required in the project, your ID, your mobile phone, and everything. If you are already signed in before, you can go directly to the sign in button. After that, once you log in and you entered every your information here, based on your information, it will catch if you are a father or if you are a son, one of a family. Then you can start shopping using the Tamwin online. So then you will go to the home page. It will say hello, your name. The personalization is important here, and the disclaimer here that shows you are a member of a family or a father. Then if you see all the products on the page, you can select from the filter by selecting by categories. It could be things for children or for the kitchen or general stuff. When you click to add to the cart, you can add it to the cart. You can see the total amount. If you want to continue, it's up to you, or go to the bag or to the cart. If you click on the product itself, you can have all information that you need, big picture, the amount of the price of the product itself. You can add it directly. Plus, you can see similar products. For example, if you are looking for chicken, you can have, for example, here the rice and the oil. The milk doesn't include it, but it's just to show you guys. Then, and of course, the chicken will not be 12 KD. It's just a price. Then you go to the bag. No, sorry, this is your last order. If you have already orders before, when you click on the order itself, you can have the details. You can delete it. You can send the invoice to your email. If there is a delivery charge, it will show there. After checking out, you will have option. You have option to deliver to your home or pick it from the branch itself. We have two options to pay: cash or Kinet, the total amount, and if there is a delivery charge. I guess this is the full flow for it. Nothing there.
All right. Shukran, Abdurrahman. We open the floor for questions from the judges. Any questions?
I have a question. Abdurrahman, first of all, thank you for the presentation. I love the visualization that you had and the flow from a consumer perspective. And you're tackling definitely a really challenging issue, which is Tamween. But if I take one step back, what is the one pain point you're trying to solve for when it comes to Tamween?
For Tamween, if we are talking about the pain point, especially for nowadays, if you go to the Tamween, it will be a very crowded place. You will have to wait for a long time. The place there, mostly hot place, and the picking up the stuff from there, a little bit hard to put it in your car. Having it as an online and make the order from your home or from your office, maybe tomorrow, maybe morning, one of your family asked you to have these items, you can order it, and once you reach your home, you will have the items in your hands. I think this is the main pain points for Tamween.
Okay, thank you.
Ahoy, Abdurrahman, I have a question. Did you take, this is Ahmed Gharib, Ministry of Health, did you take any consideration of items that you chose, then you decided to cancel, or you decide to pick up later on? Because they have some kind of criteria in Tamween. If you don't get this item now, then you cannot have it later on. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I didn't find it in the Trello actually, and I'm not familiar with the Tamween. I'm still not going there, but I have found one of the pain points on the Trello. It said if you reach the max of the amount of one of the products, for example, I'll show you one thing. I think it's. Sorry for the mess. For example, for example here. For example, if your max is to get the chicken is 3 carton, for example, once you reach the 3, and this is the number that you have to reach. Once you reach the 3, it will say that you have reached the total amount. You cannot add more, but you can decrease the items. But for your specific problem, I'm sorry, we didn't think about it because I wasn't find it in the Trello.
Thank you very much.
Shkur Abdurrahman, thank you very much. So for the sake of time, I think we should move to the next team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. وبالتوفيق إن شاء الله عبد الرحمن.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Shukran, Abdurrahman. Next team is going to be COVID Assassins. COVID Assassins, please raise your hand if you're planning to speak on behalf of the team. Abdulaziz Karam. While the judges are obviously recording their scores, you can use the time to set up. If anybody else from that team would like to join Abdulaziz to either help answer the questions or present, please feel free to raise your hands now. Okay. Abdulaziz is connecting probably now.
Hello.
Okay. Abdulaziz, you're live.
Yes, I am.
Yes, please share your screen and turn on your video if you like, while the judges are recording their scores. Whenever you're ready, just let us know, please, so we can start the clock, and Dr. Bassam will kick you off.
Okay, I'm ready.
Tawakkal ala Allah, Abdulaziz. You can go ahead and get started.
Okay, hello everyone. We are tackling the virtual clinic challenge. Here as a patient view, we have the list of doctors and we can see our appointments. We can set up our profile here where we can add the basic information and allergies, health condition, and if we have some documents we want to share, we can add them and the doctor can see them. And if I want to go with a doctor, so if I want to book with Dr. Abdulaziz, I can schedule an appointment, for example, at this time, and I have voice or video type option. So if I go with a video, I can write my description. I am having whatever. I can add documents or pictures and I submit. And now as a doctor, one second. Now as a doctor, I can see that Abdulaziz is a pending appointment. I can look at his notes for this session. I can also check an old prescriptions, check his profile with all details, and I can either approve, reject, or transfer it to another doctor. I have disabled the checking here, but if I want to initiate the call on the time of the session, I can have a video call here, which will start a live call. And when it's done, I can write him a prescription or a note of the session. So you are feeling well, for example. Submit. As a patient now, I can see my prescriptions. Here is the last one. And we have also added lab tests. So in the future, if we can add it or integrate it with the blood laboratory in Kuwait, where it will generate this automatically. But for now, we have it as a manual entry. And that's it.
Thank you, Abdulaziz, for the presentation. And now we open it to the judges if they have any questions. Khalid, tafadhal.
It's this is you know, guys, it is my field. Did you guys did you consider security of patient files and how you're going to be integrating with existing system to do the virtual clinic? It is a very important matter for us. And how are you going to work this out, to be frank? Thank you.
Okay, so we didn't take the security measures as I don't know how to say it, but we didn't take this an aspect because of the time restriction. But it sure will be feasible if we have the funding and the access of the infrastructure, and the resources of and the time.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
I have a question. Abdulaziz, from the clinic or the doctor point of view, how the management of the appointment is going to be? Because when you showed it, it just showed the whole schedule is open. So I need you to explain more from the doctor side or the clinic side how they're going to set up the availability of the time.
Okay, so as a doctor, I can edit my appointment schedule here. If I want on Sunday, I can add on hourly intervals, but on the patient view, he will see 15-minute intervals. I can add, delete a time, and I can see all my appointments on a calendar and as a list under the calendar.
So they will have to do it for each and every day, the doctor side?
They will have to do it for like a weekly basis, weekly based, but it will go on as long as it's in your profile.
Okay.
So if you update it from next, if you update it today, it will take effect on from tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Abdulaziz. I think now we move to the next team. مشكور وبالتوفيق إن شاء الله.
شكرا جميعا.
شكرا Abdulaziz. Next team is Team Droom. Team Droom, if you can please raise your hand. Okay, I see Hussein has raised his hand. Okay, Hussein is joining us. Hussein?
Hello, everyone.
Take your time, please, to share your screen before Dr. Bassam gives you the go-ahead after the judges have had a chance to input their results. Hussein is also joined by his teammate Ahmed, who's in the panelist as well now.
All right, Hussein, welcome, and please, the mic is yours. So let's get started.
Yes, thank you so much. It's like the hackathon was really a great experience. Okay, so I'll be going with the citizen system, reporting system. So basically, this is the application created for the, it's like, for the citizens. So they can, if they see something which is not good, it's like, which shouldn't be happening, like, incidents or something, so they can report it to the municipality. So this application basically belongs to them. So what the citizens will do is they will have an application. There's a report and issue section in the application, so they can just click an image. They can just take an image and write what is happening. And they can write their full name, let's say Hussein, and the mobile number is SMS if the to receive an SMS if that issue is resolved or not. So this will report an issue to the backend. I'm having a internet connection issue over here. I'm real sorry about that.
Okay, so we have 1 minute left. So if we can speed up the, oh, we lost him, I guess.
We did. He dropped from the call. His teammate is there. If you'd like to help.
Okay.
Ahmed.
Yeah. Ahmed, do you wanna just pick up and continue?
Okay. Actually, I don't have the application in my laptop, but I can say the main target of this application is to help the ministry to track. Yes, it is to help the ministry to track any issue that happens anywhere. But the special thing is to the reporters will be not the ministry, but they will be the citizens themselves, not the ministry, which will help the ministry to track the crimes, problems, or any issue anywhere and anytime.
I see. Thank you very much. Any questions from the judges?
I think just from my side, a clarification on the reporters. What do you mean? But who's the one that's reporting on the incident? And if it's normal citizen, yeah, go on.
Yeah, any citizen in anywhere that see any crime or a problem or any issue, he will just take a picture and send it to the ministry directly.
Okay, which leads to the follow-on questions. Like, how do you create trust in this system? And verification. Have you thought through that?
By SMS.
Who's messaging who? But like, how do you trust the reported incident?
The ministry will send an SMS message to make sure that the crime is resolved.
Okay.
Okay. How do you deal with duplicates? Let's say if 3 or 4 people reported the same incident.
The admin will have a list of issues.
Okay.
Dr. Bassam, just to let you know, Hussein is actually back, and they have around 3 minutes combined if they would like to complete the Yeah, he's still here.
Okay, we can show the SMS now. See you, Hussein.
All right. Quickly, if we can just show it quickly.
Hussein, you're muted if you're speaking. Hussein. We can't hear you, Hussein. I think you're on mute.
Can you hear us, Hussein? Okay, I think for sake of time, we move on since we're out of time.
No problem. Thank you, Hussein. Thank you, Ahmed. Let me just take you back. Thank you. Okay, so the next team is Team Noobs. Raise your hand, please, from that team if you are planning to speak or answer questions. Okay, Nasser, I see you, promoting you now. If anybody else on the team would like to speak, this is your chance to raise your hands. Okay. Nasser has joined us. Doctor, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Marhaba, Nasser. Let's go ahead and get started. If you have something to show,
yes,
please share your screen.
I'll share the screen right now. All right. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, hello everyone. I'm Nasser Ad-Din, and I would like to start this by thanking everyone who made this happen and for giving me the opportunity to be here today, presenting in front of you. And I would like to apologize in advance because I'm like I can barely open my eyes. But yeah, let's start with the demo. And this is a route optimization app. So it starts like this. So if let's say I have a delivery company, and I want to manage the drivers and the shipments that are being handled by those drivers, I'm gonna log in to my account here as the admin. Oh, I think that's my password. All right, and then now that I'm logged in, I can start using the services. I can start by adding drivers or by listing them. So currently I have one driver here. And I can see the lat and long of the base location of that customer, of that driver. And I can add a new one, or I can add in bulk. So if I have, let's say, an Excel file and I want to add a list of drivers at once, I can add in bulk, or I can add individually by using the name, so let's say Nasser Al-Din, and say for example Nasser, and then method.com. So there's a password, and then I can use the base case, try to set the base location here, and let's say for example I have Farwania, and I can set also the lat and long here. And now once the driver is created, it will be added to the list. And now it's time to create some shipments or orders to be handled by those drivers. And yeah, we can pick the city, and we can also enter the address and the location. And once we do that, we can have a list of shipments. And the way this works is, let's say, for example, we have 4 orders scattered around the country. And we have, let's say, 2 drivers in different places. So what happens is, for each driver, we take each driver, and then we try to find the closest point to that driver, the closest shipment. And then that would be the first let's say route that they will be taking. And then from that point, we can give them another route from that point, and by looking at the closest one after that. So for example, if we have we try to split the number of shipments equally on the drivers. If we have 4, for example, and we have 2 drivers, each driver will be handling 2. And that way we can improve the efficiency of the delivery and the performance of it, because this is a problem. So like we like if I try to place an order, sometimes the restaurant would be next to me, and they would go to, for example, like a very far place, and then they would come back to me. It's not efficient. So using the algorithm that I try to implement.
Nasser, you have 1 minute, so try
Yes.
to wrap up. Okay.
Yes, and we can optimize here by selecting, let's say, the shipments and the available drivers, and based on the location, the base locations of the drivers and the base location of the order, we can assign the order to the proper driver, to the most efficient driver. And yeah, and if you have, and also once we do that, we can also download CSV file of all the orders and to which drivers they will be assigned, so they can be printed later or dealt with on any spreadsheet app. I think that summarizes it, and if you have any questions, I would love to answer them.
Thank you, Nasser. And now I open the floor to questions.
I have a question.
Yes,
great name. I liked it on that page where you have Yalla Optimize. So have you thought through the driver's capacity? I see the allocation to a driver based on location, but what about their capacity?
So what, can you clarify on that?
So like what type of, is the driver driving a car, a refrigerated car, a motorcycle with food he might already have in it? So
when I started building this, what I had in mind is like the typical delivery we deal with on a daily basis. So when we like order food but yeah, this can definitely scale to whatever type of delivery.
I have a question, Nasser.
Yes.
When you say the shipment location, is it the pickup or drop?
Is it again? So the picker will be, for now I'm using it as a string, but the map, I'm using the lat long, which is more accurate. And those coordinates.
You optimize based on the location of the driver and the location of the shipment.
Yes.
So is this like the pickup location of the shipment or the drop of the shipment location?
On the pickup of the shipment.
The pickup of the shipment.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question, if I may.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Nasser, from the driver's perspective, have you developed or thought about what kind of interface they will have?
Yes, there is an interface here, but the thing is with the limited time. So the interface here, I can also log in. So when I create a driver here, I'm basically also creating a username and password. If I log out and log in as a driver, I can see the list of orders that have been assigned to me, and they will be sorted in terms of chips. So, or the closest one first. So I will go to that one and then the one after, based on what was generated out of the algorithm, and then I can sign the ones that have been completed. Yeah.
And I'm assuming that drivers will access that as an app, not the website.
Yes, but for the sake of the prototyping demonstration and the time limit, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Just one more question.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah,
how these drivers were going to be familiar with altitude and latitude of, how they're going to read that?
Again, the voice was disconnecting.
And how the driver is going to be familiar with latitude and altitude?
The drivers will not. So the drivers will basically see.
How are you going to show it to them?
Yeah. So if you can allow me more time, I can show you the interface of the driver.
Unfortunately, we don't have time, so we have to. If you can just answer quickly in a word.
So the driver will be given the address that was assigned when the order was created. So when we added here, this will be shown to the driver. And yeah, and we can also improve it. There are so many ideas we can do here. So we can put, let's say, a link to a map that they can use on their phones to help them navigate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nasser. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. We'll move to the next team, please.
Thank you, Nasser. Next team is Team Rookie Experts. Please raise your hand so I can get you. Okay, Hamid, I see you. Zaid, I see you as well. Promoting you guys now. Okay. I see Mohammed has joined and Zaid is there as well now.
Hello.
We'll start whenever Dr. Bassam is ready, inshallah.
Okay,
All right. Just checking.
Welcome, Zaid. Let's go ahead and get started. You can share your screen.
All right, just brief. I'll start with a quick overview of the project and what we came up with, and then Mohammed will jump in with their solution. Moments, please. I'll share my screen. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right. So. Can you see my screen?
Yes, go ahead, please.
All right, so we came up with a solution for all ministry websites to be able to allow any user to book an online appointment according to certain time slots throughout the day, choosing their branch and the location and the ministry, of course. And of course, there's a lot of different areas, a lot of different ministries, a lot of different services that are provided, passport renewal and such. Now there's some key stakeholders that we took into account when building up the app. The current state of the app is you can book an appointment or you can queue up wherever you are just through the web portal. And then if you're able to, you'll be able to view the queue, see how many people are ahead of you and so forth. Some of the main problems that we were put forward for the application that we saw, for example, there was one that discussed how to identify if a user, how to identify a user with no login, and we decided to go with an anonymous ID generation through the browser that they use to register, that they're using to register for an appointment or for a queue. And how can we stop the ministry queue overflow? So we decided on a dynamic set queue limit whereby it can be changed easily to 0 if they want to close down the queue, not only to stop an overflow, but also to stop in case of unforeseen technical difficulties on the ground, not from a web-based perspective. They could just stop taking any more people into the queue. And if we can identify the user is the same as the civil ID, who is making the appointment is the same person who owned the civil ID, we thought to use this, both using civil ID number and the civil ID serial number to authenticate the user when they're registering for an appointment or jumping into a queue for ministry. Some ideas for a future outlook of what we could do with this application once the database is built up and information is gathered. We can incorporate a lot of machine learning technology into here to build a lot of models that can predict the services demand among users and even the amounts that need to be put in by workers and the number of shifts each or the number of employees each shift could possibly use, and adding some security features such as facial recognition and fingerprint recognition to enhance security and even further come up with ways to secure that the person signing with the civil ID is that person.
Zaid, you have 1 minute left.
I'm going to let Mohammed now take over, and he'll take you over through some clear highlights. Let Mohammed share his screen, please, if you can stop mine.
You can stop yours.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Mohammed, you can go for it now.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so initially this is the starting point of the system. So now I'm a normal user that can browse the ministries. So I can, for example, check out this testing ministry. Each ministry will have a branch. Each branch will have an address. I'm sorry, each ministry will have multiple branches. Each branch will have an address and working hours and location. We can join the queues if there is any for any service inside each branch, or we can book an appointment, for example, and we can check out the available queues that are in each branch. So, for example, let me just log in as a user, as an administrator here. So, after logging in as a ministry, I can view my branch, I can add the branch, and I can view the details of each branch. So I will add now a new branch called, let's call it a judge for, let's say, Shark. And it will have working hours from 8 to 12 p.m. For the address, it's just say Kuwait City. Once we click add branch, the branch should be added successfully, and we see that the branch is available here. We can view the details of the branch, and we can add queuing and appointment services.
Your time is up, so we need to move on.
Okay.
So let's go to the questions right now.
Yes.
All right.
Let's open the floor for questions.
I have a question, Bassam.
Yeah. تفضل.
يعطيكم العافية. The question is, I see in the setup of the ministry branches, you have the working hours, but have you taken into consideration the branch capacity? Because some branches, they can handle more people, they have more desks and so on and so forth. Have you taken that into consideration anyway?
Yes, so when you create a queue, so for example, here when you add a queue service, at the moment there are no services for this branch, but you can notice here that we have a queue limit. So the queue limit can be decided per service, so that the queues does not overflow. So for example, the queue can have a limit of 10 people at a time, and whenever someone tries to join to the queue and it's over 10 people, it will refuse and it will them that the queue is full at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, please. Did you take consideration of timing and criteria for each entity, their working hours and their timing? How are you gonna develop this, and how many are capable to receive per day?
So for the capability of receiving per day, this is determined by the queue limit. For the times, each service will have a starting time for each day. At the moment, there's no limit. There is no way to disable Friday.
My question is, did you consider in your application while developing it the quota of each area? How are you going to do this, and the criteria and the questionnaire that's to which section of this department? And for each department, they have sub categories under them. Did you take consideration of this?
No, there's no hierarchical branch. There's no hierarchy for each branch. Each branch is treated as one entity.
Okay, thank you very much. يعطيكم العافية مشكورين. For sake of time, we have to move on. So now we move to the next team, please.
Thank you, guys. Next team is team Alpha. Please raise your hand so I can promote you. Okay, Osama, I see you. Ali, I see you as well.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Osama, we can hear you. Feel free to take your time to set up before Dr. Bassam kicks you off. And I see Ali as well. Yeah, Ali's here as well.
So, Osama, whenever you're ready, please let's go ahead.
I'm going to be presenting first, and then Osama is going to join me for a demo on his screen.
Okay. Okay, start, Ali.
Yeah, let me just share my screen. Good evening, everyone. We're Team Alpha,
Yes.
and we're presenting the challenge of citizen reporting system. So this challenge is addressing the gap in communication that's between society and government institutions. Citizens want an outlet to share their issues, and the government institutions need a platform to regulate issue resolution. Current solutions right now, this was actually from 4 months ago, is any issues or any complaints are being accepted over WhatsApp. Now, any efforts are appreciated, but it does lead us to having a much more manual way of resolving issues. So tweets or WhatsApp messages, they get piled up over each other. But before we get into our solution, we wanted to ask if you know GitHub. Now, of course, everyone that's participated in this hackathon knows what GitHub is. For those that don't know, it's a platform for coders to collaborate and share their software and raise issues and resolve issues together on their software. So we wanted to mimic a similar behavior in real life. And we came up with MuniHub. MuniHub, short for Municipality Hub, is a full-stack platform that enables citizens to report municipality issues in a matter of seconds, as we're about to show you. So it offers government institutions an admin dashboard to receive incoming issues and descriptions. The issues can be marked by the admin as resolved, or they can be updated, and the citizen is updated with the progress through a mobile application, which is cross-platform as well, so it's available on both iOS and Android. Why would I use such an application? Two reasons we could think of is citizens with a sense of love for country and community would appreciate having ease of access to such a platform so they can easily communicate with government. And it provides transparency in the way that issues are resolved in front of everyone. So now we'd like to demo the application. I'll just pass it to my colleague Osama, who will demo the mobile application. Let me just stop sharing. Osama?
Can
you
you
have
see
1
the
minute
demo?
to demonstrate?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the application that the user uses to communicate. It is very simple. It has a list of all previous issues. Some of them are resolved and some of them are pending, as you can see with the icons. If you go into an issue, for example, this issue, it gives you the description, the reporting date, and other details about the issues, such as a before and after picture. That's for the issue. If you want to report an issue, you go here, you choose an image, you take a picture of an image. This is the emulator camera. You choose the image, it tells you that an image is selected. You type a description, something isn't working, for example.
Sorry, Osama, I'll just steal the presentation now so we can show them the rest of the demo, okay? Okay, thank you. Now to just quickly show you the web portal. So this is the web portal. An admin can log in and basically they can view the issues that are uploaded. They can click on one and it shows them who uploaded it, their location. They can choose to send an update to the user, or resolve it, upload an issue, and mark it as resolved, at which point it disappears from the admin panel. Now, to just continue the final ones, is what are some future implementations we can think of? To encourage users to use the application, we can have a gamifying approach, which is a point-based system to encourage users that the more they report issues and they're resolved, they're rewarded with more points that can later be used for discounts from sponsors and so on. We can connect it with other institutions which can create a whole ecosystem built around the concept of
your time is up, so let's wrap up now. Let's move on to the questions.
Sure.
And any questions from the judges?
Yes, please, Dr. Bassam. My question is, I saw quickly the backend that you just showed. From the screen I saw, I couldn't identify any place where in the backend they will assign these cases. The admin will receive them, but how will they assign these cases? Especially the type of cases will be varied as the people going to submit.
Yeah, this was the point I was just about to mention before time ran out, which is to improve the system, we'd have to allow the admin to assign issues to employees to better handle these resolutions.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, then we move on to the next team. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ali and Osama. Next team is MacBytes. Please raise your hand so that I can promote you. Okay, I see you guys. Promoting you both now. Okay, both the gentlemen are with us.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, so me and my teammate, we made this virtual clinic application. Use Flutter. Flutter is a software development kit from Google. So the advantages of using Flutter is that in the future, whenever we have to make any updates for the app, we use a single code base to update the code for both iOS and Android apps. So we wouldn't need to, fix the same issue 2 times for the Android platform users and the iOS platform users. Yeah, so now I'll demonstrate the project to you. On the left-hand side simulator, I'll log in as the patient. And on the right-hand simulator, I'll log in as a doctor. So whenever a doctor creates an account, he doesn't directly get to interact with the patients. He first gets a verification screen. The admin gets this verification screen. And whenever the admin approves the doctor, then only the doctor gets to interact with the patients. So for example, I'll search for a doctor here. So this is Dr. A. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So whenever the doctor creates an appointment window, it's shown over here, and the patient can schedule an appointment with the doctor, and the doctor can either accept, reject, or transfer the appointment to another doctor. We're facing some issue with the doctor screen. I'll just restart the app 1 second. Yeah, so this is how the basic outline of the app is. I don't know what issue exactly it's facing. Okay, yeah. So I'll just demonstrate the patient forum for you. This is the patient's profile. He can update his medical records over here. He can describe his problems and pick images from or documents from his mobile and attach them. And the doctor will get to see them. And if there are multiple doctors attached to a same patient, all the doctors get to see it. And there's even a video calling platform and an audio calling platform. We use the Jitsu platform, thanks to MIT Media Lab. so the doctor and patient can interact with each other in the same application.
You have 1 minute left.
Yeah, that's it. We are open to questions.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
I have 2 questions. You had mentioned that all doctors get to see the patient's records. I mean, have you thought about the confidentiality with regards to that? And then the second part is, what about criticality? You know, how does a patient flag, I need to see a doctor immediately? Have you thought through that?
Yes, ma'am. We have thought about that, about storing the patient's medical records. We are storing it in 5 ways, so which is encrypted by Google already. And then we can have on-device encryption to make the file even more secure. And moreover, to have the urgency and queuing the patients, what we can do is we can have a questionnaire where the patient fills up the questions asked. So we can rank them based on the symptoms they have. Patient will be pushed up to the queue. The doctors will be able to interact with them over a video call or a voice call immediately. If they require immediate attention, they can ask them to visit the hospital, and we can have a digital queue there too, eliminating a lot of crowd in the hospitals in this pandemic situation, which would help in reducing the pressure on the hospitals right now.
Okay.
Can I have a question, please?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Did you consider while developing this application integration with existing HIS systems or pharmacy systems or lab and X-ray systems? Is there any integration in this? This first of all. Second of all, how are you going to do this and do the integration while you're having all the doctors having access to this patient file?
So we currently don't have access to any government-related medical records. If there is any,
my question is, while you're developing this application, did you consider integration, which is some countries as it's a must to integrate and have access to patient's file, which is it is confidential, like Dr. Hanadi mentioned.
sorry, sir, I didn't hear that part. Is it integrating with other medical systems that earlier exist?
Integration with the existing medical system. How are we going to integrate this to do the virtual clinic?
Yes, sir, it is totally possible. If the existing medical systems can provide us access to their database or the things that they have already in their servers, then it would be easy to integrate that content in here. It
But
wouldn't
the question is, you're storing your data in Google, as you mentioned.
So we're using it in a Firebase server, which is a software as a service hosted on Google servers. No one has access to it. Then the owners.
How flexible is to store the data in premises?
So shifting this to a NoSQL database on Linux or Ubuntu wouldn't be that difficult. So this entire data can be shifted to private or government institutions. So no third party would have access to it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Times is up, so we move to the next team. Good luck.
Okay, thank you guys. Next team, and actually the last team, is team 404. So it'd be funny if I can't find them. It's a programmer joke. So I'll promote you guys right now. Let me just, okay, please raise your hands. Okay, only one speaker from the team. Okay, I thought maybe there were going to be 2. Okay, so Fakhruddin has just joined. I believe he's the only speaker from the team because nobody else raised their hand.
Okay. All right, Fakhruddin, you can go ahead and get started. I don't hear anything. I'm not sure if you're muted or not.
Sorry, we were muted. Sorry, we were muted. Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam. Go ahead.
Today we'll be demoing and explaining the business model for the
citizen, to putting the municipality issues. So whatever we are doing right now, right, it's to make the world a better place. I mean, we are having this hackathon, the workshops, everywhere we are listening that we want to make the world a better place. But how do we do that? I mean, the first thing that we need to do is that we need to resolve all these things together. And why do we need to do that? Is because of this. And then there are other reasons as well, is because of this. And then, as you can see, then there are many more. So these are the issues that we are facing every day, and then we need to resolve it. And why do we need to resolve it? And what are we going to do it? So the solution that we came up with, and most of the teams came up with, was crowdsourcing. So we will ask the crowd to help us, to help them solve their issues. So the solution looks simple when we do it technically, but then I see as a really great business model, because it's a government service which can be outsourced to multiple private companies based on regions and based on their specific specialty. So for an example, some company can do really good in fixing the roads, some can do really good in managing the garbage, some can really do good in managing the gardens and other things. So we can outsource them to multiple private companies based on the region. And in this way, we will have really good ground reports, because each team would be working on the things in which they are good. So what are we going to achieve after doing this? So as we all are going through a pandemic, we know how good it is to be hygienic. I mean, we have changed the standard of our life, right? I mean, so being healthy is the most valuable thing right now, and that's where we're moving on. So and one of the problems that we faced is, how do we encourage the users to really pose their issues? So there are many programs that we can come up with. One of the program is the incentive program, so that the private companies can pay the users based on however they do it. Obviously, the authentication, we can increase it more on making sure that they don't really fake it. And at the end, we are just going to achieve something that we all want: a beautiful world and a clean world. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions from the judges?
I mean, how this application works? We didn't see any of this.
Sure, we will show the demo.
This is user app. Okay, so this is user app. So here we have list of reported issues and we have list of resolved issues. So if we click on any resolved issues, we see the original issue, the description, and the name and number if provided, and then the final issue which is resolved. And to go to a report issue, we go here, we select a picture, we write description, we give name and number. So this issue is now reported and it's under here, demo description. So now we go to employee app. Over here, when we refresh, we see the latest reported issue here, demo description. So here, when we click, we see the details, the location where the issue was reported. So we click on resolve issue. We select an image of the resolved issue. And then we click on resolve issue. So the image will be uploaded and the issue is now resolved. So this is now out of the open list, this issue, because it is resolved. Here we only see.
Do you have any to show any location of this issue?
Yes. So over here, we get this location here, Khaitan, latitude and longitude.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, what about the queuing of the issues? Do they just go by first in, to the top of the list, or how do they get, what's the hierarchy? By urgency, by criticality?
Well, right now we are using we are queuing using time. So the latest report issues will come it's like first in, last out. But we can also add emergency based on how severe the issue is, because few issues they require our attention first.
And if the teams are really scattered based on the regions, we can really go to the ground, we can really get the ground reports and see if that's an authentic issue over there.
Okay.
And we also get statistics of how many issues are resolved and how many are pending.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Our time is up. At the end, I would like to thank all the teams who presented in this session. I would also like to thank the judging panel for their time and attention and their valuable questions. So this is the conclusion of this session, and then we will meet again on Instagram Live on KFAS account at 8:30 to announce the winners. And once again, I wish everybody best of luck. Thank you very much.